We will be having a closed beta test, actually multiple closed beta tests throughout the fall, leading up into early access. And we'll be looking forward to having our testers providing ample feedback that we will use to make adjustments to the game along the way. We have our backers from Kickstarter who are already part of the Benario Grand Company. But moreover, on top of that, for those who missed the crowdfunding period, they'll be able to join the testing period as well through an application, through a form. In participating, please follow this link, fill out that form, and we'll be checking it out. If you are one of the crowdfunding pledge backers, you do not have to fill that out. You're already in it. Just reach out to me on Discord. The first one right away. These are some of the new models for some of the characters and NPCs. Previously, in the past playtest, all of the generic soldiers looked exactly the same. And now they will have different faces. And even more important on top of that, they have hair. It's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, next. This is the treasure chest.
Yeah, this is a treasure chest where you can find those chests on the battlefield.
So this came about through a feedback where I guess with the design of the combat maps, there needed to be more reason to actually move around the field in certain positions as well. This is the design of the treasure chest, and you know, it's one additional element for people to look forward to as they're going through any of the combat segments. Moving on, this is for the coach, which is part of one of the cutscenes. You can see the concept art and how we envisioned it.
This is for the opening cutscene. So you will see from the beginning of the game.
Anyone who played the alpha, you might have actually had an opportunity to try this out, this little mini game. And one of the feedbacks that we received, it took too long. This is the updated version of the training, and it is much, much faster. Right, Jin Sang?
Training session took about a minute. Users had a feedback where it was way too long. And
the QTE, it's still in there. It can still happen, right?
Yeah, QTE is still there, but it will only pop up when you're about to lose, so that you can, make up for it.
The next thing is we wanted to show a couple of the new skills. There's a lot of magic spells in this game. So why don't you run us through, what is it on the left first?
Okay, this is for the teleport.
So is this an elemental skill?
I think it's not. I think it's the white skill. It's just teleporting a unit to the near you. What's on the right is the holy ground, and it is the whole purpose of the magic is the around you the 3x3 tiles. It will make the those tiles holy ground, so that whoever is on that tile will have a buff. Okay,
cool. Do you think the enemy can stand on it too and get that buff, or is it only for allies?
It's only for the allies, I think. Okay, one on the left is the skill. Use it on a unit, and unit will have the killing effect every turn, for 2 or 3 turns.
A heal over time.
And then on the right is the damage skill.
What school of magic is that? Light, dark, elemental?
I think it's dark, and it's not the magic, but it's a kind of a skill.
Oh, so it's not a spell?
Yeah, it's not a spell, but it's a skill that certain characters will have.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the next slide, we have UI improvements. This isn't the final UI design, right, Jin Sang?
This is the concept design of the UI that...
Yeah, I like it. It has a very polished feel to it, and it looks very appropriate. I see that this is being tested, or gamepad controller. I see the left bumper, right bumper. It looks much easier to navigate. What is this huge lion?
This is a manticore.
The manticore. How many tiles does this take up?
taking 3x3.
It's massive. These beasts, they take up multiple cells, and there's certain cells that have weaknesses on them. So if you use these types of attacks on these specific cells, they essentially work as a weak point, right? To deal additional damage.
If you see the tiles on the like what's on the manticore, there is a bookmark on the left tile. So if you use a magic on it, it will have more damage on.
So you have to cast magic, and it has to hit that tile. Physical Collector's Edition, it will come with a physical book. So we started getting some of the concept arts that you'll see in the art book. And, here are a few examples of them, but, it has the different designs for some of the important characters. There's a lot of these.
These are the characters that we think are important, and we had a couple of choices to make.
Can't wait to see what the full art book will look like. There's a whole lot of other concept and drawn things too. It's not just character concepts, but it's more than that too. This is the battle music. This is the battle music for episode 7. Now, if there's any questions that y'all had, this would be a good time to ask them. We have a couple of questions in the Town Hall channel of our Discord, but I also saw a question by Benatsu up in the chat. The question is there a chance some planned content might not make it into the game and will be put off for a sequel? Or are you mainly aiming to plan things that will for certain make it into the game?
For those that we have planned, but we haven't fixed the schedule for it, more likely not on the game for now. Like currently, I imagine that we should have a mini game that it's like in The Witcher. There's a Gwent, right? And there's a card game in it. But like I wanted something like that in our game too. But then I have a specific like a plan for it. But then the work is not being allocated right now, and I can't say that this is going to be on the final product.
But it's still something that you want in the game.
Yeah. I definitely want it in the game. And
even if it's not there in the beginning, it could always appear in a later update, right?
Yeah, it's a one possible way to do it. Yeah.
On top of developing all these things, we have to run the betas, and then after that, the people who are playing the beta tests, they'll be providing their feedback, and then the dev team will have even more work on top of that based off of that feedback that might not have been originally planned. A lot of the updates that you guys have seen in these monthly, dev update reviews, they weren't originally there. They were only conceived because of the feedback that we got back in June during the Steam Next Fest demo. The next question from Rayla Dawn. Can enemies steal loot from those chests? The chests on the battlefield.
Enemies? I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think enemies can loot.
And a follow-up question. Is there a time limit to get the chest? Do you have like until turn 5 to get it and then it despawns? Or do you have all the time in the world to pick it up?
I don't think there will be any despawning the treasure chest.
Okay, so no sense of urgency. You can clear all the map of the enemies except for one. Go get the chest and then go finish off the last enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is from the Town Hall channel on our Discord. Will there be a way for non-magical units to do elemental synergies with tiles on the map?
Well, the skill set that we already shown today, I said that they are not the magic, but then skill from certain characters.
Right.
So certain characters may have the some skill have features like the elemental magic, right? And some there will be some weapon as well that could have some elemental magic.
So kind of like a flame tongue sword where you swing it and hit an enemy in a bush, or you just swing it in a bush.
Yeah. So you will have some skill.
So the last question in the Town Hall channel: what are the odds that we can see Lost Eidolons be playable on the newly announced Steam Deck, the mobile PC Steam device meant to be played handheld?
Well, I've seen the Steam Deck and it's a spec and specification. And I don't think we have to worry that much about like Lost Eidolons running on the Steam Deck.
It already has gamepad support, right? It's already playable on it with a controller. This is a question for me. How did the team decide to go with Unity as opposed to using something like Unreal Engine?
Our dev team was working on a project on Unity engine. We didn't really consider it much.
Do you think do you think the team would use Unity for other projects too, or are they open to using different kinds of engines?
Well, we are more open to the Unreal Engine as well. So like we probably will be developing other engines as well on other projects.
Okay. Shine asks, will the game be available on Switch? I can answer that. While it would be amazing to have the game on Switch, and when we made the announcement of the game, there were a lot of people who were asking if the game would be available on Switch. Look, we would love to have the game on Switch. At the moment, though, we can't bite off more than we can chew. We gotta worry what's on our plate first, and at the moment, we're super hyper-focused on getting the game out on PC, Steam, and Xbox as well. And depending on how well everything turns out, if it turns out to be great, we can look towards other platforms as well to put the game on. That basically covers everything. Once again, as a reminder, for those of you guys who are interested in trying out the game and giving us feedback, I do want to share this story again because it's very important to us. Our team, a majority of the members come from the live service industry. Jin Sang, which studio were you with before you moved to Ocean Drive Studio?
Oh, I was in one studio at Nexon where we were having a live service on Legend of Cao Cao.
Yeah.
For like more than 3 years.
Yeah, and in total, how long did you work in live service games?
For about like 19 years, 20 years.
Holy.
I've been in the industry since 2001.
Wow. I was a little kid at that time. But yeah, so for many of us who've worked in live service, I worked at live service as well. Prior to this, I was also at Nexon. We have this closer relationship with our community, and we left live service to work on specifically single player games at an indie studio because we wanted the freedom to create the kinds of games that we wanted to make. And I was sharing this story in the live stream on this channel earlier. We were doing a let's play of another indie studios game called Wildermyth, which is pretty cool. And I was sharing this story, how one of the articles that had covered us in Korea were shocked to see a South Korean game studio making, not an MMO or not a mobile game, making single player games. And it's just funny to see how few studios are willing to take the risk to make something like a single player game when it's different for studios in that region. But I'm loving how Lost Eidolons is coming out so far. The progress is picking up pace rapidly, and so for those of you guys who want to be part of the community to provide the feedback that we can use to shape the game better, once again, please do feel free to sign up for this forum to join our closed beta testing group. Our first closed beta will be coming very soon, within the next couple of months, and then there will be 2 more after that. We're really looking for people who are very outspoken and who are not afraid to share constructive criticisms towards improving the game. We really want our community to be part of the feedback loop in making this game awesome. So I really hope to see some of you guys there, and to join our Discord as well. The Discord icon panel is below in the channel, and you can check that out as well, where we'll be having discussions about the game as it's being developed. All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Follow us on social. Join our Discord. Yada, yada, yada. The usual. Wishlist the game on Steam. It helps us out big time. Steam algorithm, the sorts. Bye, guys. See you guys on the next
update.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.